Yobo, welcome to another episode of In the Life with MightyFan. And I'm braving being under the lights again today for this. It's not as hot out there this week, thankfully. We got away from the hot and humids just for a bit. But I don't have the AC on because of that, but we're going to just try our best under the lights. But anyhow, I have some pickups here, including, as you guess, I was one of the crazies that was out there yesterday morning at the link for the new Kelly Green. I'm just so happy they brought them back jerseys. They're going to be the alternate throwback. And the Eagle fans were the only fan base with the throwback uniforms this season to break Fanatics. They were the ones that for a while Fanatics had to be shut down. There was just so many people going on there, and Eagle fans have waited a long time for this. It's been a long time coming. But I wasn't trying to get on Fanatics. I was at the link, had a great time, and I'll talk more about that in a bit. Let's get to the other pickups first, though. This is the one that I mentioned a few times I got, but I wanted to get some fabric glue and take care of the patch, because just a little teensy little bit was peeling, and I wanted to make sure to, to take care of that, and it worked pretty good. The fabric glue did its job. So we got that Steven Stamkos Tampa Bay Lightning jersey. This is from years ago when he wasn't even the captain. He was the alternate captain at the time, but the Lightning were celebrating their 20th anniversary. And this was the patch that was peeling just a bit right there. It wasn't even the whole jersey. It was just the top of the jersey. It was just the patch rather was just a bit. So I fabric glued that, so it's all good. But anyhow, there it is. It's a replica Reebok, but it does have that patch, which is cool. You have Stamkos 91 on the back. You got the Reebok logo. You got the Lightning logos on the shoulders. You have the 91s on the sleeves with the white stripe around. Drawstring front with the NHL shield on the inside. Reebok size XL. But again, the main reason I got this was the patch, the flare. And it was Stamkos, so you can't go wrong there. So anyhow, there's that. And then I was able to recently pick up this guy, which is very cool as well. Yes, another addition to the hockey collection, another addition to the reverse retro collection, and this is another one of those tough to get ones, but I was able to grab it. I missed out on one a bit ago, but I was able to get this one. I got the Buffalo Sabres reverse retro 1.0. So this is the original one, the Ode to the Butter Knives jersey. Of course, the Sabres, as an alternate jersey many years ago, had a red jersey with the butter knives on the front. That's the logo they call it. Of course, the cross sabers, but they call it the butter knives. It's still a jersey I want to get in my collection. I don't know when. Maybe this hockey season. You never know. But so when they brought this back as their first go with the reverse retro line, I really liked it. But obviously didn't go after it right away. And of course, it sold out. But it is what it is. It does have the buffalo down the front. It is supplemented right onto the material. You got everything going on here with the Dazzle Tool as well for the Butter Knives logo, or the Cross Swords logo that is affectionately known as the Butter Knives. Captain, this is Jack Eichel. Of course, just won a Stanley Cup with the Las Vegas Golden Knights, but he was a member of the Sabres at the time, and he was the captain of the time. The player really didn't matter as much to me. I just wanted the jersey, and I wanted it with the name and number. I go for that. So, NHL shield on the front. It's supposed to be representing the 2000 season. This is an Adidas Aero Ready, authentic jersey, size 56. And again, you got all the particulars. The 9 on the shoulder. You do have the goat head as well, which of course for the reverse retro 2.0 they wore as for the crest. Big year for the goat head jersey last year. They brought it back for the Reverse Retro 2.0, and also they updated the old, 90s into the 2000s, black jersey, which I have a Dominic Hasek of, but from the old days. And at some point, I do want to get the Reverse Retro 2.0. I mean, if I had my pick of players, it would be Tage Thompson. But, we'll see. Sometimes beggars can't be choosers, right? You get what you get. But I would like to get that someday, because I always like the goat head jersey, and I like it. I liked how it looked, all with the white and blue, and, the accents and everything. So the goat head's going to be on both shoulders, and the 9, of course, on both sleeves. You got the nice pattern going down, the stripes rather, the yellow and blue, really nice. Turn it around, you got Eichel, number 9 on the back. Triple stitched. Eichel on the nameplate. And you do have the piping going all the way around, and you do have the fight strap for whatever reason. Adidas loves putting the fight strap in the jerseys. But it is what it is. And last but certainly not least, we go to what I picked up yesterday from the pro shop at Lincoln Financial Field, right at the source. The Eagles, of course, this year will be wearing the old school Kelly green from the 80s into the 90s era. You think of those great defenses they had back then. And, of course, Randall Cunningham. My first favorite Eagle was Fred Barnett. I wore the Fred Barnett jersey yesterday, the Kelly green jersey. Some of you may have seen me on social media. I made the rounds. I got interviewed by a bunch of different people while I was waiting in line. It was a really fun time. It really was. But anyhow, here we go. Now, I did get the game version, which is the replica version. So you have the Legend, which they didn't have any in the store. That would be your $100 variety. You have the Game, which is the $130 variety. And then you have the new limited vapor, whatever, the Fuse jersey, which was about $175. So I went with the $130 option. I do have a little discount because I'm a AAA member. So I was able to take this home with a little bit of a discount to it. I got it in this style because I like the collar the best. For the throwback jersey, I understand they're going to wear the vapor, the whatever, the collar, and you do have something similar on the Fuse version. But, because it's like it's a throwback jersey, I like that old school throwback look right there without all the fancy whatever it is on the collar going up. And that's probably what I'm going to do whenever I get a throwback jersey. I understand the one they wear on the field has that different fly knit, whatever collar, but it just makes it look more old school. And I like that. So whatever throwback jerseys I get this season and beyond, I think I will still go with either the Legend or the Game version because the collar, I think, is just the best on these. And to each his own. I know Jake just made a video. He got the Fuse version for the Hockenstein, right? The Hockenstein Vikings, throwback. But, I just like that old school looking collar for the Eagles. Hertz is on a nameplate. It's pressed on. Everything is pressed on. Nothing is stitched besides the nameplate. And then you have the jock tag at the bottom. Right there. I got the 2X. Get a good look at that shield on the front. Right there. Beautiful jersey. And, of course, you have the ones on the shoulders pressed on. The Nike swoosh. And there it is. The big full eagle on the sleeves. Just as I grew up with back in the day. This was the first uniform that I saw the Eagles wear. That's the first logo I ever saw of the Eagles. And I'm so glad and geeked out that they brought it back. Absolutely. Was waiting so long for them to do it. And so glad to see it. And all the others that they had in the shop. Let me get away from this light. I'm gonna go move here. I forgot to bring my towel down. That probably would have been a good thing. But anyhow, we're going to move on. Oh, yeah. Did I tell you I hate the heat? I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of hot weather. Anyhow, I did pick up a few other things. I did bring down this, though. once I set up the camera here and do a little shop cleaning, a little, I guess, talk shop, a little shop cleaning as well here. And yeah, so yes, very excited that they're going to be wearing those jerseys, the full uniform, the silver pants, the green helmet with the silver, with the silver wings. Mama. Anyhow. Tastes even better when you're hot. So the full uniform. The jersey obviously being part of it, and then everything else. That's just as I remember, growing up again, watching them in the 90s. And then, of course, they moved over to the midnight greens, and the rest is history, right, for the uniform. But the Kelly greens, I can't tell you enough how awesome it's going to be to see them wearing it. The only shame is that they're going to be wearing it twice this season, once against the Dolphins, and I believe that's a Sunday night game, and the other one will be against the Buffalo Bills. And I believe that game's in November. I want to say like the weekend after Thanksgiving or something like that. The shame of it is they're not wearing that uniform against one of the divisional opponents. In fact, that was the only thing people booed yesterday in line when they found out it wouldn't be against Dallas or the Giants. How awesome would that have been? Because when you think of them wearing that uniform, you think of them doing battle against those teams back in the day. But it is what it is. I'm sure the Dolphins will be wearing throwbacks that night too. And I guess Buffalo, I don't know. I don't know how the NFL is going to work this whole thing, but, we will see. Oh, my God. Anyhow, here's the other one of the other items. I did get a little, can koozie. I got a pennant, but I'll show them another time. Obviously, combo reasons. I have a lot of Kelly Green hats, but you can never have too many. So this is a new hat for this year. It's part of that whole set that they're putting out. This is a New Era Snap, but it does have the full bird on the front, just like it would be on the sleeve, and it's good gray under right there. All of these hats, and I did look a little bit yesterday, so because the new sideline caps came out yesterday too, and all these hats will have the established year on the side, which is it's a nice little touch. NFL shield on the back. Again, it's a snapback. So they have a few different styles for the sideline hats this year. And I know I'm not going to be doing my weekend review this week because I am going to be going to my buddy Slim's, and shout out to him this weekend. But I was super excited because I really like the sideline hats this year. And, to each his own, right? For me, now any of you who have known me or have been with this channel for a while know that one of my all-time favorite style hats were those pinwheel style hats from the early to mid 2000s, from the Jersey Boom days, right? And they are back, baby. One of the sideline collection hats this year is the pinwheel style hats, the double whammy with the logo and the NFL shield on the other. Does my heart good. I've been telling people for a while they need to bring them back. I've been telling people, and now you're starting to see it because the Lids did a set before the start of the baseball season. They had all these different, the pinwheel hats. You might remember I got the Phillies, I got the White Sox, I got the Orioles because why not? But. So one of the sideline hats this year is going to be the pinwheel style double whammy hats. And it was nice to see that. It brought that big grin, just as I have right now. Oh yeah. In fact, some of them look like if you go to the site, what is it? Hatland. You can still see some of the older hats that they have on their site from the early to mid 2000s. They still have some on that site. And they're the double whammies. You can see them. And it's like, they're back, baby. The only thing I'm hoping, and they haven't done it, and I don't know if they will, is if they can do the throwback ones for the teams wearing the throwback uniforms. Like an Eagles one, Tampa, Seattle, Minnesota, like all those teams. They do have another style hat too, which has like a front panel and different colored sides and different color around the rest of the crown and the brim too. And that's got your basic, like your old school logo on the front. Oh, some of them look really nice. And then it's got the established here on the back, just like the Eagles one does. Oh, that's a nice set too. You know, we had all those weeks, and I'm like, this would be the week. This makes sense to me. The week I'm not doing the week in review. Those other 2 weeks where there was no hats, just not a lot of good-looking hats, and I'm getting frustrated looking at, like, yeah, we got all these summer hats, and now they come. So I'm going to have to do one video sometime next week just on the sideline hats, because I think there's a lot of winners in there, at least for me. I was telling people the NFL is just going to take my money this year. This is just, someone even said, well, you should probably just, part of your paycheck go right to Fanatics. Like, it's probably how it's going to be. Oh my God, there's so many. Because there are pinwheel hats from the past that you can't find, because obviously they're rare now. You don't see, they were from how many years ago, right? And then if you see them, you have to hope they're in your size, right? Because they're fitted. Now, they did make snaps too, but I want the fitteds. For those, I want the fitteds for the pinwheels, because they look the best in pinwheel form. So, or in fitted form. The pinwheels look the best in fitted form. So I'm like, yeah, this is my chance. I can get some of these hats now to go with some of those jerseys that I never got, and it's so hard to find now. Oh, they brought them back. And that's another reason why I hope that at some point they do them with the throwbacks. I don't know if they will. They haven't. Maybe they won't. They have throwbacks in other styles. I'm like, but the pinwheel just like the pinwheel. So, anyhow, I was very pleased to see that, and I can't wait to get my hands on some. I'm hoping to go to Lids tomorrow to grab an Eagles one. In fact, I glanced, I saw them, but I didn't realize they were the sideline hats, because I did see some at the pro shop yesterday, but I'm all Kelly greened out. Like, that's the only thing I'm looking at. Any of the midnight green stuff, I'm like, that can wait. This is Kelly green. It was Kelly Green Day here in Philly yesterday. So, but then I came home, and later on I'm on, Instagram or whatever it was, and there was an ad for the sideline, and it was the pinwheel hat and another design. And I'm like, oh, that's the sideline. Oh. And immediately I headed on to Fanatics, and I'm just drooling. Or I'm just it keeps scrolling. I'm like, oh, but that one, oh, and that one, oh, and that, oh. I really wish I did a live with that one. Oh, I should have. That was an opportunity missed, because the instant reactions on some of those. And some were better than others. Some of them were like, I kind of wish they went with another color or something, but there's so many good ones. So anyhow, that's going to be very interesting this year, because there are other throwbacks that I want to get jersey-wise, and then all the wonderful pinwheel hats. I've told people, if the Views from the Vault guys see this, I told you there was going to be a time where they were going to make a comeback. I told you they were too nice. You can't not let them come back. Wonder if any of them thought of me, too. I know it's been a minute since I've been on the Views from the Vault show, but if they see that pinwheel, they're like, yeah. MightyFan like those. They should mention me in the show. I'm telling you, when they show them this week on the Week in Cap review, this Week in Caps or whatever, they should mention your boy when they show the pinwheel hats for the NFL sideline. Because It may have taken a while, but I told people that there's going to come a time that these are going to come back. I know it. I know it. They're too nice. Damn, they're too nice. And that time is now. Like I said, the only thing that would make it better is if they had some of the throwback logos with them. Yeah. That would have. But maybe they will. Who knows, right? The Kelly green and the white or silver, or all around. Oh God. So anyhow, that was very exciting. That was one of the cool things I saw yesterday, aside from the Kelly green. And let me tell you, it was great. I went there. I wanted to film this last night, and I just got lazy. It was a big day. It was it was I got up early, and I left earlier than I thought I would, because I thought I would leave the house around 7. And then I heard the stories, and this is only going to happen here. This is the only place where you have people tailgating for basically a jersey release, right? So I'm hearing these stories on there because I always wake up. I put the sports talk as my alarm, which isn't very surprising, I know, but I have that as set for my alarm when I get up on the radio. And they're talking, and they're saying there's been people that have been camping out since 3 a.m. I'm like, oh no, that means the line's already getting to a lengthy. Let me get over there. So I left the house. It was only a half hour earlier, but I left the house a little about 6:30 a.m. I got down there, no traffic. I got down there, and I parked because they had free parking there. I parked the Bond Birdsmobile, which is what I call my Mini Cooper. I took that. I got a compliment. That's an Eagles car. I said, yes, it is. So anyhow, I got down there full attire. I had the. I mean, if you saw me, and if not, I'll tell you. I had my vintage Fred Barnett Kelly green jersey, which is basically what they're wearing this year. I had that on. I had a Kelly green hat. I had the Kelly green Mitchell Ness shorts on, the Eagles shorts. I had Kelly green socks. I don't have sneakers in that colorway. Otherwise, those would have been on too. I have an Eagles colorway shoe. They're Questions, Iverson, but they're the midnight green. So yeah, no, I couldn't do that. I mean, I could have, but no, that's okay. That would have been clashing. So I just wore my regular Pumas, black Pumas. So, and I had the Kelly green shirt on underneath, Eagles shirt. So I mean, I was all Kelly greened out, And I get down there, and I park the car, and I'm walking over, and I see E-Rock there, one of the social media guys, Eagle fans, and we're fist bumping, and he says, "Oh, now you can have more jerseys in your collection." I said, "Yes, I can." As E-Rock knows, I collect. Shout out to E-Rock. And then the line was going. They did, there's like these gates in front of the stadium. And the main kind of ground concourse area is known as Head House Plaza. And that's where, you would have the entrance to some areas of the stadium, but also you have the entrance to the fan gear shop, the pro shop, the main entrance. And so they had those gates were closed, but people were out, and they had the line like single file going out and around, out all the way down on the sidewalk on the street. And so I get in that, I get to the end of the line, and I'm just talking to people. We're just having a great time, People are coming by with like these little microphone things. It's like, I guess it's what they use these days, And they're like interviewing. Oh, what time did you get here? What jersey are you hoping to get? I didn't know. I mean, the first people that interviewed me were from the Eagles social media team. So I got on as part of the, all these people, they edited it and then they put it as part of their story. And people from work were like, "What time did you get there?" As they saw it eventually. Ferris Bueller, I'm not. My boss told me to go though, so this is. Hey, I'm not putting him. I'm not. I'm not putting him out there, but anyhow, no. So these other people come by. They're from some other social media thing. They're interviewing, and then as the line started moving, so what happened was they opened the gates to go into Head House Plaza, and we all started making our way in. And we're chit chatting, whatever, Get in there, waiting in line, and then they made the your typical zigzag thing, to get into the pro shop, and so I'm like kind of getting close to that area, right? And this other social media a couple guys come and interview me. They were from, I found out later, it was Crossing Broad. And Crossing Broad's one of those, Philly, social media outlets. They do a lot of, great stuff. And we had the interview with them. I got on there, and they're, it's funny because afterwards I got in the evening, I got a message from a guy who I know who's a Cowboy, of all the people, a Cowboy fan. It's me. It's a shout out to him. And he's like, "Hey, I saw you on YouTube." And he sent me a couple links to the YouTube because, everything on the news or social media, it all goes to YouTube. As I'm on there right now. So there were it was one of them was, I guess, from one of the local news outlets, CBS, I believe. And they caught me like checking out, at the the cashier, and the other one was the Crossing Broad one, and I was on there and came on there, and it was basically me saying, because they said something about how the record wasn't the greatest, and the one playoff winner. I said, well, I mean, it wasn't about the record; it was just about. For me, it was that's what got me into that was the first uniform I remember them wearing. That was the uniform I saw them wear that made me where I became a lifelong diehard fan. I mean, that was it. So I'm always going to, you're always going to have the feels about that because that was your first time seeing them. You didn't know. It wasn't really wins and losses at that time, where later it would become that. Right? It was like, this is the first time I'm, really getting interested in this, in watching them, and seeing these players and these, in these incredible, uniforms. And so they kind of got they got that on there, which was very cool. A lot of people, there's very small little segments, and I came on there. I was, it was almost about a minute or so, maybe 45 seconds, of me, answering the question, which was pretty cool. And anyhow, then what they did was they let 75 people in, and they only wanted 75 people in at a time. It made sense. Because, you don't want overcrowded in there. It's, so I eventually got in there. I think I waited like 35 minutes or so in that zigzag line. But, it was still fun talking to people. They had the Eagles cheerleaders were there. Swoop was there, the mascot. You had the drum line. You had the pep band. He had one of the head social media guys for the Eagles, and you see him all the time. If you're an Eagle fan, you know who he is, Dave Spadaro. I fist bumped him. I fist bumped Swoop, or fist and wing, or whatever you would call it, Swoop. So they made it very like a lot of entertainment. They had some trivia questions where you could win like signed helmets, little mini helmets, Kelly Green helmets. And one question was Fred Barnett. I knew it. It was what receiver caught the 2 touchdowns against the Saints in New Orleans in their only playoff win in those uniforms. And it was like whoever raised the hand. I thought I got my hand right up. Here I am wearing a Fred Barnett jersey. That's Arkansas Fred. But someone else got it. So they kept it entertaining. They had the Philly Pretzel Factory had a van, had a van there, giving out free little pretzels. The local water ice, one of the local water ice companies, Rita's, was there with free water. Apple water ice was really, really good. Oh boy, that tasted great after being in the sun for a while. I got that stuff when I was leaving, but I went inside. And they had, like, the first thing you saw was all the jerseys. They had all the jerseys on racks or on the wall, and you can. The ones that were up right front were those limited ones, were the fused ones, and then in the back area along the wall, and they had like what looks like lockers, and kind of setting, and they had all the jerseys on hangers there, however many deep, and that's where I ended up getting that Hertz jersey. And people were gobbling. I mean, you saw people with like however many in their hands. I thought there was a limit, but I guess not. I mean, I was just there to get one. And honestly, I'm like, okay, I can always go back, get them over time, here and there. Because obviously there's others I want to get. So, Hertz, I knew that was the top one I wanted to grab. Hertz was the main one. Everyone was grabbing Hertz. People were grabbing Kelsey jerseys. And, I mean, it was just, I tell you, it was. People had like 5 in each hand. It was something. It was something. People were buying them for family members and whatnot, But it was just pure joy in there. And everyone was just happy, and Eagle chants and the Go Birds and everything. It's fan base. I know we get a lot of heat, but it's the one thing I will always say is it is passion, and that's what it is. We love our team, and sometimes we love them a little too much, but but we do have that passion, and I can't. It's not surprising to me that the Eagle fans broke Fanatics. That's not surprising at all. Now they have jerseys on back order and stuff, and it's something. It really is. But there's a love affair with that color. There just is. I mean, it's something. This is a cool city for nostalgia. Anytime a team kind of goes back and wears a throwback jersey or something, I mean, people gobble them up. I mean, even before they do it, because I remember going to Phillies games, and you would see a lot of people wearing the old colors before the team decided to adopt that powder blue, to wear the throwback Thursday games, right? A lot of people were wearing the old colors, me included, And for me, I grew up with the jersey they're wearing now. So I didn't, I was too young for the powder blue. I was too young for the, the maroon. But it's still something I love. It's still my favorite uniform. So, the old fat P, that's still something that I've always liked that logo, I do kind of remember it from when I was very young, but obviously you're not thinking, at that point. It wasn't until I got older, and Joe Carter hit that home run that I started really following. But you would always see people with the throwback stuff. And obviously Mitchell and Ness was a big part of that too. And Cooperstown collecting everything like that came out back in the Jersey Boom days, right? But yeah, you would always see people with the throwback stuff. And then when they brought back the powder blue as like a full-time alternate, they sold half the stadium is wearing powder blue today. Like you see all these people, I'll wear it, I'll wear the old stuff, right? I mean, that's still one of the most popular uniforms that you'll see. When you go to Eagle games, even before, obviously, this is the first time they're wearing those jerseys since the 90s, right? But you would see so many people in those Kelly green jerseys, right? And I know they wore it the one time for the 50th anniversary of the 60 team or whatever it was, and they wore that jersey, right? And I have a Vic in that, everyone gobbled those up too, right? But you would always see people at Eagles games or Eagle events or, pep rallies or whatever wearing the Kelly greens, the Mitchell Ness jerseys or fake or otherwise, But you would see a lot of Kelly green. And so it makes total sense that they would do it. It took a while because of the helmet rule or whatever, but now you see more teams doing the throwback as an alternate. And the Eagles, I mean, it made total sense for them to do it. And Jeffrey Lurie's not stupid. He's a business. He knows about business. So he knew you bring that jersey back, that's gonna bring a lot of more venue, and it obviously is. So, but it's just we go crazy for that kind of stuff, And I think it's so cool because I'm a Jersey head. Now I'm a sports fan. I'm a Philly sports fan. I love these teams. I go crazy with them. Maybe sometimes too much, but I do. But I'm a Jersey head, as we know. This is the passion for me. This is what I love. So it's like you must excuse the term, it's a double whammy for me that it's not just a Philly, team thing. It's a Jersey thing. So for me, it's like, oh, this is like, this is like heaven, Everyone, being with all these people looking forward to getting a jersey. And for me, it's just, I'm a Jersey head. This is what I do. But it's a great thing. It's a great thing. So I do think it's cool that, in this town, people do appreciate the classics too, and they love wearing the old stuff Sixers. People still want them to bring back the black jerseys from the Iverson era, right? I would love to see it too, but any throwback, anything that resembles a throwback, people go crazy for, people buy up and everything, right? That's just how this has always been here, and I think, like I said, it's great, People hold on to things, a lot. And, memories and, whatever it is, memorabilia, clothing, outfits, and it's like a family community, you go around Philly and that's what it is, little communities of just people that are just family with each other. And these teams are part of the family. It's just, that's what it is. It brings people together. And it divides people at the same time. But it brings people together. And moments like that, when you can get up that early in the morning just to wait outside of a store for how many hours, and all these people were tailgating, and it's just yeah, this is a unique place. But I had a blast, and I'm glad that I did that. I knew I would, once I found out that that's what's going to happen on Monday. But I'm glad that I, was able to do that, and it was a blast. It really was. And I'm glad to have gotten that Jalen Hurts jersey. And I will be getting more. You can rest assured on that, because it's, throughout the season, I'll probably keep going back to the pro shop once a month or so and pick up another one. Because there's other players I want to get in that. They I don't think it matters the player. They all look good. They all look sharp. And they had a decent amount of players there. And they still have others that they didn't have that they will be getting in, like Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox. You can even call that Fletcher Cox jersey a Reggie White rookie, because Reggie White wore 91 as his rookie year. I know Slim and I both want Mitchell Ness to make that jersey in authentic form. But I told him, I said, there's probably going to be a customizable option. And I get it, there's the Nike swoosh and all in there, but I mean, maybe get a rookie Reggie White that way. I mean, these jerseys are nice. I mean, he sent me a link today. Apparently on Nike's site, you can get an authentic in Jalen Hurts. It's not available just yet, but I'm like, oh, Slim, you shouldn't have sent me that. I said, I'm not sold on the collar or those short sleeves, but I didn't think they sold authentics and throwback jerseys. I don't remember any others being sold, but I don't know. Maybe Nike knows that the Eagle fans are crazy, so there's more money to be had. I don't know. Will I get it or not? I don't know. Right now, who knows? I can never say no, but who knows, right? Who knows? But they had other players too. They had A.J. Brown. They had Hassan Reddick. They had Kelsey. They had Mulata. They had Lane Johnson. They almost had the whole offensive line. They had which is, I know I'm biased, which is the best in the league. They had Darius Slay. Oh, my goodness, I know I'm forgetting one or two. Dallas Goedert. So, yeah, I mean, they had quite the collection there. Quite the selection, I should say, instead. Brandon Graham, they're going to get in. Fletcher Cox, they're going to get in. And there might be another one or two. They had Smitty as well. Smith was there. Devontae Smith, they had. And I know online they had Swift. They had, but they didn't have that in the store. So anyhow, they had a large selection, and they're going to keep getting more. They said there's other players they're going to get in. They just didn't have them in stock yet, but they'll be getting them in. And Sweat's another player they'll probably get in. The rookies, they didn't get any of those, at least for now. But eventually, they might start getting some of those players in. They had they had Dawkins, which was kind of interesting because but there's money to be made. B-Doc never wore that jersey. He came into the league when they were wearing the midnight. He just missed it by 1 year. If he was a rookie the year before, he would have worn the Kelly Green. But he missed it by 1 year because when he was a rookie, that's when they turned to the midnight green as their shady green. The uniform was a little different than what they were today, but still, it was the midnight green. But they had his Kelly Green jersey. I would imagine like Randall and Reggie White and stuff like that. I'm sure you can find a bunch of. At least I know I saw them on Fanatics. So very cool, and a great way to kick it off. The Eagles did it right yesterday, and I was glad to. Like I said, I was glad to be a part of it. It meant a lot to me, both as an Eagles fan, as a Jersey head. And I know it meant a lot to everyone in there. So that was very cool. I'm sorry I gushed. It's just my team. That's the uniform I always wanted to see them wear again. So it's definitely in the feels. I didn't cry. I didn't tear up. I almost did, but I think part of that was get me out of the sun. Oh, my goodness. Anyhow, I've gone on for 42, almost 43 minutes, and a lot of it, as usual, blah, blah, blah. But that's basically what's been going on. So, at least from now until next week, unless I do any video vlogging at Slim's, I'm probably not going to do anything until next week for the channel. But there's a lot of stuff coming up. We're going to be looking at couple stuff, including those sideline hats. I'm going to do a special vid on those next week. We're also going to do a couple weeks in review next Friday, more than likely. Going to do some more Ross vlogging, probably some Burlington vlogging mixed in too. I did get the copyright thing the last time. I think I know what I did wrong. I was under the one speaker a little too long. So I think it caught too much of that song. So, it's all live and learn. It's all... you got to adapt, and I'm gonna do my best to do that. And also just piggybacking from the last video, I know Jake made mention that Patrick Kane looked like it was a woman's. I had no idea. Honest to God, I had no idea they made 2XL women's jerseys. I had no idea. I mean, you see a jersey in a men's section 2XL, you're not thinking in terms of that, but now I know. Now I know, right? So I got to look a little more closer at the tags, Yeah, it's a woman's size jersey. I had no idea. Honest to God, I don't want to sound a certain way. I had no idea they made 2XL women's jerseys. I can't remember seeing them or hearing about them. So when I saw it in there, I'm in the men's section. It's a 2XL jersey in a 2XL section in the men's section. I'm not thinking it's a woman's jersey. There's no way I'm thinking that. So, but yeah, Jake caught it, and I ran upstairs, like I paused the vid, because I watch my vids after I, upload them, make sure everything, is good and all. So I paused the vid, I ran upstairs, I looked at it, I'm like, son of a bitch. Damn it. And so I'm like, all right, well, I guess this is destined for Macari at some point. But I did try it on. Yeah, it was bad Baywatch. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna return. I'm just gonna put it up on Macari, maybe make a few bucks. I'm not looking to break the bank or anything. But if I can at least get the money I bought for it back and a little extra, that would be fine. I think I probably will be able to do so. So at some point, yeah, that's going up on Macari. Yeah. So now I know. Now I know if I see a hockey or any, just inspect the tag a little more and make sure it's a men's jersey, not a women's jersey. I honestly, God, though, I had no idea that they made 2XL in women. I had no idea. I mean, of course why wouldn't they, right? But it's just not something you think of. It's like, okay, this is, I'm in the men's section. I'm in the 2X section. Here's a 2X. It just didn't dawn on me. And I didn't see the tag enough on the inside tag where it says Women's XL to notice that was a woman's jersey. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gotten it. No way. But I'm there going, oh, $30 for a Kane jersey? Yeah, I mean, why not, But now I know. So thank you to Jake. And thank you to anyone else who was making mention of that. That was a little embarrassing on my part, but again, this is all lessons learned, right? Sometimes you make a mistake to learn from it, and then but try not to make it again. So best you believe, I'm going to be looking at those labels a little more before I choose to pick something up, at least in Ross or something. Most other places, I don't think that's an issue that I go to, but certainly. Oh, certainly I'm going to have to do that, Ross. They're sneaky. You got to be careful. They got donut hats. They got, funky colored Lakers and Bulls hats, and they got women's 2XL jerseys in the men's 2XL section. It's a beyond Thunderdome in there. But this is why you learn. And this is why I vlog. This is why I go out there. I'm out in those streets. So I got to do a better job at chopping up my vid, not going all the way through. Because like I said, I do want to still make it instantaneous. I have that instant reaction to things. But I guess I'll just turn on and off the camera, as I'm doing, not just try to go all the way through so that the whole song doesn't go through. So it's like chopped up. I'm hoping that if it's chopped up, it's not going to be as big a deal. I also noticed that Ross, the one Ross, it's a little louder, the music, than the other one. So the other one, it sounds a little more muffled, and you can talk over it a little more. But the other one, yeah, it was pretty clear. I'm like, son of a bitch. I want to vlog. I don't want to worry about the damn copyright crap. But, you have to be more careful out there and just try to chop it up. But, I cut and stop the camera. What people do the voiceover, and that's all fine and good. And maybe I'll have to do that eventually if this keeps happening. But I like this spontaneous reaction. I like this, oh, yeah, here's a, whatever. And I want to still do it, but, hey, I mean, you do have to be careful here. You get too many copyright claims, you get in trouble or whatever, right? And I don't want that. So, it's trial and error, and that's really all this is. And just gotta try another way, see if that works, and if so, then I know what to do, going forward. But at any rate, but all in all, probably not going to see anything again from me until next week, again, unless I do any vlogging in Maryland with my buddy Slim. Because those other series I'm going to put on hold till next week. I mean, we're in the month of August now, and that means that we're a month away from the season starting in football. And, of course, that means another season of the fan, including the Kelly Greens this year. So I'm looking forward to that. And bringing you week-to-week action of my beloved Eagles, right? But we'll get to that series once the season starts rolling. And like I said, there'll be other Ross vlogs. We're just going to try do better to avoid copyright claims or women's jerseys. And, and, and well, lessons learned. And we're going to keep that going. We're going to keep the weekend reviews going with the, jerseys and hats for Mitchell and Ness and Fanatics. And the In the Life series as well, which is what I'm filming right now, which is over 100 episodes in. Oh my goodness, how time goes by. So at any rate, be on the lookout for all that, because there's always, you never want to miss it, right? So what do you always got to do? You got to leave those likes. You got to make sure to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit the bell icon. Just hit that bell icon so you're notified to all future content from yours truly. And I thank you all for all the support to the channel. I'm glad you all are enjoying all these various different series. I'm trying to, expand a little. A little here, a little there. Do something a little different here and there. You never know what you're going to see in the channel. Okay, mostly it's jerseys and hats and me rambling on. But outside of that, you just never know. So you never want to miss it. So make sure to do all those things that you got to do on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and bell icon. It's very simple, and it's free. Unless you want to, become a YouTube member or something, which I'm not going to do. But if you do it, more power to you. Anyhow, I'm going to go. I'm going to turn these lights off. That would be a good thing. I'm going to get my towel. And I think I might watch Kojak. Who Loved You, Baby? All right, I'm going to... I'm going to get going for now. But I will see you in the next one, and you all take care. Happy hunting out there for whatever you're looking for, and I'll see you in the next one.